Parshas Matos Maasei Tovshin Pehei. We're here in the Mir Yehivah who wanted to this tonight's Shiur should be a schos for gesund Brias Atona for Shlomo Yoben Ben Esther. Wanted to say over a very, very powerful Yesod. Pasuk speaks about they went to Milchama against Midian, went to fight Midian. R Shmuel Moshe Rabbeinu to go take the Kohn from them, and they come back to Moshe Rabbeinu with a beautiful report. They say, Baruch Hashem, we counted up everyone. Le'nifkad imenu ish. Not one yid was nifta in the Milchama. Rabbi say, even in successful war, we know America had wars that they won, and even these wars that they won, they were still they fought against Iraq. After all, he remembers it was about over 30 years ago, and the Chayes had a big victory, but still a few thousand soldiers died. Kamel Chamas, even the victor, and over here there was Zeichad as Asiyata Dishmaya, Le'nifkad imenu ish. So, if you have such a Siyata Dishmaya, what do you do? Bring a carbon to Hashem, HaKoras HaTayv, Riecham a carbon Taida. Mizmol Saida, right? Mamish is Zeichad as Asiyata Dishmaya. The Pasuk says, V'nakav es carbon Hashem, L'chaper L'chat Eseinu. Says Rashi, they bought a carbon, a chatos, for Hirur. Because the Maasei, the Bnei were dressed very priestistic, and they easily brought Chamal Islam to come to wrong thoughts. So they bought now Karban Hashem, the Chavachat Eseinu, not for sinful thoughts. Rabbi say, in the Mir Yehivah, a few basic questions. Number one is, where do we find the Karban Chatos? They brought a Karban for Hirur. The Kohn for Shiur. Right, and the Chayur Nochakashi asks, is the Chayur what's up is in the Seir to bring Dafka as a Korban Kapora more than a Korban the Seir to thank Hashem. Rabbi, I'm going to tell you now a big Yesod Chaim. So the Mir Yehivah, when a person is Zeichad to Siyata Dishmaya in any aspect of your life, and it makes no difference what it is, whether you're Zeichad with Hashem to finish a Masech, or you're Zeichad to Hashem to find a Shidduch, to make your first bris, to have your first Einig, whatever it is in life. It's a time for a person to show a course of to Rebbeinu Shalom by getting closer to Hashem, by elevating. How do you, in English they call it upping your game. By elevating yourself more, not to be the same as you were yesterday, the day before. But it's mechayiv to you a gresa avoida. That's the biggest HaKoras HaTayv. The Malach says, Moshe Hashem, Kol Tag Malay Aloi. So first it says, Kosh Shua Zesha, right? The minig is, you make a Pesasud and say, no. What is it? After that, the Dor L'Shem HaShalim. The Gemara lays out the concept, but Davar HaMelech and the Nishpon, the loch is that you can make a neder to go ahead. Ashkim ve'eshna perek zeh. The Dor L'Shem HaShalim. He made himself the Dorim. Commitments. Like Chaim Kanievsky said, it's Chayvasin. Chayvas he called it. When you see Siyata Dishmaya, it's a time for you not just to be the same old person. Hashem is trying to be closer to you. Hashem is showing you Siyata Dishmaya. It's a time for you to come closer to Him. When Chosh Baruch Hu went ahead and split the Yamsuf for us and saved us in Mitzrayim, what do? Well, we said we made up a Kiddush, we brought the meat boards, beef jerky, right? And that's it. A lot of l'chaims. And Maasei, but especially, the expensive schnapps, whatever that's called, the chveis, Macallan, the chveis, whatever names are. And that's it. No. They said, we want to be Mikdash Hashem, Kohn Yodech, we'll make a Beis HaMikdash for you. Rebbeinu Shalom, we're going to go be Mekadosh name in the world. It's a Keli Van Vey, we're going to be godly name in the world, we're going to be Kaddish name in the world, we're going to come closer to you, we're going to be, the Rashi says in one B'shad, Chazal bring down, we're going to go ahead and misnah, fun of mitzvahs, we're going to do mitzvahs to the Hidur. We're going to become better. You, Hashem is showing, I want to be closer to you. I want to help you. I want to do good for you. You have to show because of that Kosh Baruch Hu, put him upon him. You can't be the same person you were yesterday. It's a nayas chayvus. It's a nayas time to grow. When we were Zoicher Rabbi to have a gewaltige Siyata D'Shmaya in the Mechemes Midian, the Nifka Dimenu Ish, Rabbi we felt that his chayvus to become better, to bring a korban, Rabbi listen to me, to bring a korban, to go ahead just for Hirur. You should be korban. Hirur, you have to tshuva. For Hirur to do korban. I said, even Hirur, they said, we want to do a special kapara. We felt that his chayvus, of an Akavis Korban Hashem l'chapal nafshei seder, we want to become pure, we want to become closer, we want to become higher. We don't have to wait for us to be over an Isser of a lesson sheish by chas v'shalom, kors chas v'shalom. Some other serious is a chas v'shalom. Here itself, we want to go bring a korban, whatever type of korban it was. The chapal nafshei seder, come closer to Hashem. Rabbi say, there's a big message over here for this Muhammad. And the message is that Kodesh Baruch Hu gives opportunities to get closer. Opportunities to go ahead and realize that Hashem is with us. That's mechayiv us to be with Him also, Rabbi say. To go ahead. It's not enough to korban, about the word korban toida. It's not a chiddush. To go ahead and bring it to korban. L'chapal nafshei seinu, which is the greatest zach that close to Hashem. We said many times, Hanin of chet is a havdolah, makes a certain hevdil, and when you go ahead and do kapara, you break down the hevdil, you're close to Hashem, you become ohov, you become nechmad, you become close again, Rabbi say. I wanted to say just one more nekuda here. We say this story over usually every year. Kodesh Baruch Hu wanted Moshe to get a kapara. Why? Maasei, the shtickle time his madrega, that when it came by the Maasei with the Zimri and Cosby and Moshe Rabbeinu Salman Alocha, so Hashem gave him a chance now to get to make up for it. But Mechemes Midian, take revenge against Midian. Tell you Moedik and Maasei, and you'll see the message she wanted to bring out from over here. There's once a Yid who had a big factory in Russia. Big factory, and maybe, I don't know, hundreds of workers. You know, he felt very, how do you say, pompous, big shot. Here he is, everyone's coming to work for him, right? Everyone's got to answer to him. He's the greatest balabas. She used to say, one of the things that drove the communists to start communism, the Pusher couldn't take how a factory full of workers, you'd have hundreds, if not even 1,000 people sitting and working, for one guy who sat all day in the office smoking a pipe, and going vacations to Miami and Puerto Rico, and living off everyone else's hard work. Gets it. So one day, a Yid comes late to work. Comes in, instead of coming 9 o'clock, comes at 11 o'clock. So the factory owner tells him why he's so late for. So he said, his wife never wasn't feeling well, so he had to help out in the house in the morning, get the kids off to school. He has little kids in the house. So the boss tells him in a very gaivadik way. He says, Krank, if she wants to be sick, let it be on her time, not on my time, he said. 9 o'clock is my time. He said, I'm going to write down for doc pay for these 2 hours he came late. It wasn't so nice, embarrassed him and this. What did they want from the poor guy never? The guy, little kids in the house, wife's not well, docking pay, what's going on here? But he was in the groove. The guy with the groove. It wasn't long afterwards the communists came and took over. The first thing they did was they took over everything, took over all the factories and all the money. They called the rich people the enemies of the state. Rahman arrested them, sent them to Siberia. And they took the money for themselves, everybody say. They lined their own pockets, turned Russia into a prison. For 70 years, and this Yid found out that they're on his tail, that they're chasing after him, and he could be arrested any day and sent far away. Before being caught, he quickly got up and he escaped from Russia. He went from country to country, place to place, to Hungary, to Poland, to here, and he wanted to go move to Israel. And he spent the rest of his life there. And he had many years to contemplate, and he always, always felt bad that if he mistreated his workers, now already he was, from the Hamayinam, he wasn't a big factory owner anymore, he didn't have any money anymore, and he felt that perhaps he wasn't treating his workers well, he deserved to lose everything. Comes a day, he was already an old man, and he sees a guy next to him in shul. He says to him, "Can I get a cigarette, please?" The guy turns to him, he says, "You want to smoke? Smoke on your cheshbon, not on my cheshbon," he tells him. Like I was just kept asking the guy for free cigarettes. He says, "Buy your own box of cigarettes," he said. "What do you want from me?" It's very embarrassing. He was an older man and was watching. What did he ask for? A cigarette? And he remembered the same words he used so many years ago in Russia. She could be sick on her cheshbon, not on his cheshbon. Here the guy tells him almost the same words. Smoke on your cheshbon, not on my cheshbon. And he felt that was a kapara, this embarrassment when he embarrassed that guy. And that day he came home and told his family that he doesn't think he's going to live through the night. They're very surprised. They're like, "What? He looked like a pretty healthy guy. Maybe he was an old guy. He was in the 80s, 90s old, but he was pretty healthy." And that night, Taka sniffed him asleep. And they understood that Hashem, so because he Taka the Tshuva, because Taka the Charata, he was able to get a kapara, and Hashem waited to get a kapara until he passed on. Rabbi said, that's what he's telling us over here also, Moshe Press. Hashem tells him, "I want you to make it in the Kohn for Midian. Make amends." And his madrega, what happened by Cosby at the Kohn of Pinchas and Zimri. Hashem says, "I want you to come to Elam as pure." Rabbi say, one of the greatest madregas a person is the koyach hatshuva, right? Koyach hatshuva, the koyach of kapara. They were saying it as they caught up as one of these, I call them migrants, I'm not sure you call them, the shoplifting. And they arrested them. The person says, he apologizes. He says, he'll pay for it. They said, no, it's too late to pay. Now you're already arrested. Now you have to go to jail. Now you can't pay anymore. It's too late. You had a chance to pay before. Koyach HaTshuva is so unbelievable. The koyach to mamish rewrite history. The koyach to wipe out the Maasei. Person can wipe out mamish. So many mistakes with simply saying Hashem Nevaganu, with bringing Kabbalah. Hashem says, "Salachti kidvarecha." I listen to your words and I moichel you. The koyach of Eskarvas HaKadosh Baruch Hu is oin v'neira. To have an opportunity, Rabbi said that we have. We said many times that they asked Nefesh HaChitas, what can he do? They asked the Nevi'im, Chacham, this, and said, you're almost Chasham. What can you do? It's done, is done. Right? They asked the Kodesh Baruch Hu, Hashem said, Yasa Tshuva Yechaper. Kodesh Baruch Hu says you can do Tshuva. It's a Kodesh Baruch Hu's personal thing. Just to have America present can pardon somebody no matter what. Kodesh Baruch Hu have of us as the koyach to say, Slach Nikid Varecha. If you believe in it, and you believe in a koyach HaTshuva, and you believe that Kodesh Baruch Hu is giving me this rachim is Hashem karachem mechano, Hashem kodem ched, Hashem akrachet. The more you believe in the midas harachim, the more you'll be zoichet with Rabbi Yisai. And the more you'll be zoichet is karvas HaKodesh Baruch Hu. I want to just say, this is the most powerful kudos of this week. And that is, when they go to Bnei Reuven, very, very, very interesting parsha. They go to Bnei Reuven, they decide that they're happy to be with Eivra Yarden. They like the land, fertile land, that a lot of behemoths and this. I told Moshe Rabbeinu, we're happy to stay in Eivra Yarden, and that could be our, and we'll be part of our Yerusha. Moshe Rabbeinu gets very upset. And he tells him, Koy Oiswa V'Seichem, Tarbus Anoshim. Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to him very stark, very strongly. How can you do this? You're weakening the people, you're making them depressed. How can you not come fight with them? And the answer back, Moshe, yes, we will come fight. We'll actually go on the front lines. We'll go Fnei Achenu. The front lines, everybody says, it's very dangerous. In fact, the Mir Yehivah, I don't understand. It's very hard to believe that Benigah Meruvain were being chasham selfish by saying, you guys go there to solve fight yourself, we'll stay over here and that's it. Obviously, it's mashal that they hadn't want to go fight them also. What's that get pshat? Moshe Rabbeinu seemed to be choshid them. Like choshid b'sherim. He speaks to them so stark. Fiery mussar, koyover seichem, Tiferes Shmuel, terrible. Why do you do such a thing? You guys are gefährlich. What's the shaka b'tayah? What's like a pshan this whole parsha over here? The Mir Yehivah moedig gezach. But he said this is been a zmanim lesson for us. It's a life lesson. I'm telling you. Moshe Rabbeinu had no doubt that they would go ahead and join the war. His brothers, the father Shiftei Kohn. Hachechem telchu mecham v'atem teishu pai. Moshe Rabbeinu told them, how can you do such a thing? Your brothers are going to battle, you sit here and relax. You guys are going to sit there going swimming, playing new thing, pickleball. They said, that's what you guys have been doing now. He says, what's going on here? So it's very schwer to say that that's what their kavanah was. Our father had a mind to come. What was Moshe's taina? Moshe's a moedig gezach. He said, you don't fight a battle the same way when it's not your battle, he said. When you have a land at Eivah Yarden, you go set up over there, Gidra Soil of Anenu, Bekanenu, you have already a nice set up area over there. And you have a beautiful houses already, and driveways and cars, and then how do you say it? Infrastructure. You go to Melchoma as a toiva for Yedim, you don't fight the same way. It's a Metzias Rabbi Say. Moshe Rabbeinu knew they're going to go to Melchoma. He didn't chosh them. They're going to be so selfish and say, "You guys go to Melchoma yourself. We're staying over here, right? We want to relax. We're happy here. Have a good day." No, if I didn't come to Melchoma. Moshe Rabbeinu says, "But you can't win a war when you come to Melchoma doing a favor. You have to come to Melchoma like it's your Melchoma. It's your life on the line. It's your family on the line. It's an Adam Melchama." Moshe Rabbeinu says, if you don't feel you find it, it's your Yerusha and your Makom. If you have been never a Yarden, you're not going to fight the same way, he told them. We're not going to win in such a Melchama with mercenaries, people coming, hired soldiers. Regular soldier goes to fight. There's no breakfast, there's no lunch, there's no supper. You take out of your pocket a face, whatever you have, some cookies someplace. There's no time for sleeping, you catch a nap, wherever you can. Going to Melchama to do Yedim a favor, it's a whole different ball game. Hungry, it's supper time, it's bedtime. What do you mean? What do you mean? Just fighting like this? What's going on here? We need it's cold, it's hot. It's time for a break. It's an Adam Melchama, Rabbi say. So the Shiur says, how much are they going to fight? But he felt if they don't feel like it's Yisrael is theirs, if they have him every Yarden, they're not going to put the same koiches, and we're not going to be able to win. That's what they answered back, and they said, we're going to go to the Fneach, we're going to go to the front lines. We're going to put our life in the line. The Shiur said that by Normandy, when they stormed the bridges, they stormed the beaches of Normandy, that's when they invaded Europe. I think 75% of the people never were killed from the front lines. Front lines is very dangerous. How do Reuven do it then? You can't just be suicidal. So the Shiur says, since they're such good warriors, it says God, good. Then if we are good, okay, right? But God is a very powerful fighters to be able to go ahead and go to Melchama and go to war, enter front lines, and still survive it because they're such good warriors. But by going to the front lines, they proved we're going like it's our Melchama. We're not going as a favor. We're putting our lives literally on the line, literally in the front lines. And that was the answer to Moshe Rabbeinu. If we stay near Yarden, I'm going to prove to you, we're going to go to Melchama like it's our Melchama, because we're going before everybody else. We're going in the front lines. Shiur gave a mashal. The mashal, guy goes to China, right? We go to China, right? We have business in China. They go there, right? They sell boots, shoes, whatever it is. Most of the stuff that we're wearing, unless you're wearing what's called brand name items. Most of it, at one point or another came in, even if the label says something else, most of it originated in China.
The low-fat man with made in China symbol.
Right, exactly. And the Maasei, guy goes to China. It's a long trip. It's many hours by plane. Don't go to China for one day. Go there for a week or two. Go around factories, this, that, make deals. Just imagine the guy comes up with his friend, says, "You know what? My wife's in the 9th month. She's expecting a baby soon. Can you do me a favor?" He tells him, I have some business in China I got to check up on, but I can't go. Would you mind going to China for me?" He tells him. "Can you go for me to China? Do you mind? For 2 weeks?" Guy says to me, "Chutzpah? Chutzpah," he says. "I should take 2 weeks off my life and go for you to China?" He says, "Sit on a plane for 18, 20, whatever many hours it is, and sit there for 2 weeks away from my family. You must be crazy. Where do you get your nerve from?" But the same guy goes himself to China many times, a few times a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year, every month, every other month, How does he do it then? What about his family? What about the long flight? Like Yeshiva says, when you're doing it for yourself, when you hear the kirsch register ringing, you don't feel the pain of the flight. You don't feel Adrabi, he takes a shower, and he puts together his 4 cell phones on each side of his belt, and his laptops and this, comes on the plane with his hair, comb back. He's ready for the flight, and he got a chizuk, a special, track pants, and he's, he got a chizuk, and he's coming there, jumps off the plane, jumps into the cars, runs to the factories. Going for somebody else, it's a different story. As much as you're about chesed, as much as you want to help, it's just different. It's harder, it's more difficult. As great as you are, it's never the same when you're a Baal Bus and your business is on the line. So many times there's stories that might happen next over here from Yeshiva that a kiddush offer. And the Shalom and Shabbos, one of the workers, the Goyish workers, that put the food on the in the oven, out of the oven. The ganze Mal shall ze eat or not, Maasei Shabbos. And there's a big need over here, all the people by the kiddush. The caterer, the showing to Olam Emes, he got up. And he said to the poiskim, he said the Chari could eat it, and he told him ganze cheshbin, the Maasei was very yatzeledes, was very vashet on tzorkich, was this and that, and ganze cheshbonis he came, and the poiskim was talking about maskim. He said, you're talking right. You're allowed to eat from the kiddush. She said afterwards when he walked out to Talmid, he says, "Is this caterer known as making up Sapaki Hilchos Shabbos? Do you know as making up Sagresiv Godel, the crazy the Geslam Donim? How did he come up with the right shot?" We said last week by Bnei Slavcha, remember? Because his business was on the line. His future was on the line, his hatzloch, his parnas, whatever it was. His mind worked in overdrive. For everybody else, it was a question of having a hot piece of kugel, or go home and eat a piece of kugel at home. And everyone loves a free piece of kugel. I know that, You go to kiddush, the richest people, trying to, scream at the waiters, "No, my table, what's going on here," right? Everyone wants to grab, for the meat boards. But for him, it was his parnasa. His mind worked different. So, Rishi, what's the lesson to us, I say? Most people are not going to war, right? We don't, we don't enlist in the army, right? We're not going to sing the Shultan Goyfer bit over here. But no place of going to armies here. No place of being a lone soldier. No place of this. What's the lesson to us? Dr. Yeshiva, a lesson. Kolzman, you feel the Torah is yours. You feel about bus over the Torah. The Torah so yega, it's yours. Hashem gave it to us for that reason, that we should be a bailam over it. Your mind works different, Rabbi say. You have andere koiches. You get out of bed differently. When you're a Baal Bus and you have a big deal to close today, you jump out of bed in the morning, millions of dollars on the line, you got to be there on time, you got to make sure everything's working out. What if you're the secretary typing up the papers? What are you getting the same dollars per hour? You come an hour later, an hour earlier. You know what I mean? You're blaming the secretary anyway. What's the chiluk? When you realize the Torah is your kinyan la'olam netzach netzachim, v'chaye olam nota b'soicheinu, you feel the Torah is a chaye olam. The Gemara says himself the brachas, how do you make a bracha with a Torah? So the Gemara make a bracha of chaye shon, eating a piece of chocolate, kavachayim l'chaye olam, shenoslan Torah emes. If you feel it's your Torah, it's your nitzchiyas, Kihem chayenu, it's your life. It's your breath. It's your metzias. It's your tafkid in this world. You came here for that reason. Not to try to climb the Forbes list. Not to try to go ahead and be the greatest Schwitzer. To be taka the Grest the Lamden. That's your job over here. To know all the sugyas of Torah. To be kind of Torah. When you feel it's your avoid, if you feel it's yours, it's your kinyan. Kinyan Torah is yours. You have under koiches. You're not tired. It's not hot. It's not too cold. It's not to this, not to that. You feel your hatzlach is on the line. Your future's on the line. Your metzias is on the line. Mashenkin, you feel you're doing Hashem a favor, learning Hashem's Torah, then you get tired. Then you take a kid. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu said. Moshe Rabbeinu said, you have to go to fight like it's your battle. Like it's your success. Like it's going to be your victory. It's your land. It's your place. Then you have the koiches to win. You have the koiches. You're not going to get tired. You're not going to get lazy. You're not going to worry about breakfast, lunch, and supper, and bedtime, and nap time, and meal time. It's an Andus Yata D'Shmaya. And only when they agreed to go ahead and take on the front lines, the Moshe Rabbeinu is Maasei. One Kakuda Baisai with a small Nakuda, and that is parsha of R Miklat. We have over here Parshas Maasei. Parshas Maasei Moedik, a parsha. The members Masois Klaisol went on. Rabbi said, everyone in his life goes through his own members Masois. Everyone in life, a person goes from whether it's from goes to Meyer, Brisk, Bregas, whoever it is, and the other yeshivas. He goes from there to there, to there to there, and then to Lakewood, to Monsey, and whatever. He gets married with Shem, has children. Everyone has his own steps and steps how he goes. Shehechim b'tzadikav, Hashem leads you. The members Masois is a lesson to us. It's a lesson to our nitzchias. Al pi Hashem yachna, al pi Hashem yisol. It's a journey never going on your own, Rabbi say. Hashem's leading you. Hashem has your best interest in mind. And Hashem's taking you wherever you have to be matzliach in the most amazing way. But I want to end with one akud. The pasuk says by the parsha of or Miklat, Torah says, "Begilad shchichi roitzchem." That Or Miklat around there. She was a mighty kasha. Or Miklat's only meant for people to kill b'shayi, not roitzchem and kill b'mezid. So why do you have an Or Miklat over there? For shaky. But you said you said this in many parshas, and that is because the people there was roitzchem there means human life was not choshev to them. Therefore, it was easy to fall into shayis as well. They didn't have the Shmuel, they didn't have the Siyata D'Shmaya. They didn't have the Siyata D'Shmaya, by say. That's it, wound up in Or Miklas Nebuch. Sometimes for life. Ad Maasei Kohn Gadol. The certain life is, I say, and take this message home with you. Don't blame your Bnei Yisrael if you don't see Siyata D'Shmaya and you're learning anything else in your life. B'derech shadar ma'atzalech mlichas is the Maram Sech Tamakis Tav Yud Min HaTorah. Remember he's right from the Torah Min HaVim Min HaKsuvim. You get to dictate the trajectory of your life. I have to say some fancy words for the video. You get to dictate of by side. Direction you're going to go in. Rabbi Shalom follows your lead. HaKadosh Baruch Hu leads you where you want to go. If Hashem sees you're serious about something, you'll have Siyata D'Shmaya. You'll have the right charusa. You'll have the right dorm room. You'll have guys keeping you up late at night. You're going to have the right Rebbe. You're going to stand the Shiur. You'll have the right Siyata D'Shmaya to come to the right Seforim. You got to Matos. You'll be Zeichen to do the right Shidduch. And she's going to help you steig more your wife with Shem. Zeichen to Marbet's Torah. As long as you show you're serious, and that is your tafkid and tachlis, and you put the koiches in the bezeiches Siyata D'Shmaya. But if you don't take it serious, Abaisai, you miss once, you wake up late, you forgot, you this, I didn't bring a pen, I forgot to bring a paper, I don't know, I didn't realize, I didn't this, I didn't that, I didn't chop that the bus doesn't this, the train doesn't that, I thought I'd get a ride, I thought the chas would be over earlier. When you don't show you're careful with a shmira, you don't take it serious, you're not zoich the same siyata d'shmaya. There's no one to blame but yourself. If things the chasham not working out, look at yourself, not a punishment, look at yourself. Ask yourself, how serious am I really with what I'm doing? Ask yourself that question. Rabbi said many times, when he brought the Bikurim, Hashem, so he did it with a simcha. Samachti, but he says, Baskal said he did it this year, you should be saying do it again next year. Again, who knows what's going to happen next year? Maybe it's going to be a tornado, maybe it's going to be a shiddof and Yirok in Chas V'Shalom. Hashem sees you did it with simcha, he did it with the ganze hearts. You'll be zeicha next year to do it again. That goes for anything in life, Rabbi say. I said many times about the Nazir, they has to bring a korban even for a shaygi, even for an oinus. Al cheshach lo v'necha ba'oinus u'v'ratzin. And we asked the Mir Yehivah, the Meyer Kasha, what's the shaykh to do tshuva on an oinus? It wasn't your fault. How can you tshuva on an oinus? And the answer is, why did you fall into an oinus? Because you weren't serious. That's why you fell into an oinus. You wait till the last minute, hoping everything's working out perfect. You'll be able to catch the plane, to the train, to the bus, to all the cheshbais in the world. When it comes to your brother's chas and you make sure to come a night before, you'll stay in a hotel, and you come make sure this, you make sure that, you make sure this, just in case, who knows? You don't rely on an alarm clock, you have two guys waking you up, slapping you out of bed, throwing you in the car. To be zoichet the siyata d'shmaya, you have to show Hashem Yitaka really wanted. Hashem Taka sees you serious. Yitaka put the koiches with the shmira. You'll be zeicha to this special atzlocha, what we call siyata d'shmaya. The days of Tiferes. Our Rabbi said many times, to be zeicha to become a Talmid Chacham, to be zeicha to become the Torah, it's kamayim mil mechasim. The first Tefillah Shmon Esrei, the first parsha, Avachai Lodin Da'as, Chanenim Yidcha, we ask with Da'as. To be zeicha to that. Hashem to give it to you. Ki Hashem yitim yifiv Da'as Chachma. Moshe Press Hashem gave it to him Maton, Rabbi say. That Maton has to be midr Maton, and Maasei Maasei commitment to show Hashem. Acha she'alti meis Hashem, I've won by kosher. The Ram says no one could ever defeat a guy who has a singular goal in life. If you're everywhere, you're nowhere. A master of all trades. Someone knows all trades. There's a master of none. Acha she'alti b'zoichet shir Hashem kol mechayei. Rabbi said, remember, being a zmanim is a zman unto itself. It's not a tour not to learn. There's a chance to shlag even more. You can learn all the mesechtas they didn't have a chance to learn during the regular yeshiva storim. All the other limudim, fakert. I said, especially at time, but he said to me, Kadashim Shamayim, now you're going out, people see you, right? And they see what a Ben Torah is. They see even when you don't have a mashkiach, you don't have a shiva, you don't have everyone over your head, but still he's sitting there, the Gemara, because you want to know the emes. Chayil Matabas Echenim Shezeicha B'Yisrael Korev. Taka this year, Taka B, Kolai Moyed, Taka Shezeicha to see the Bnei Beis Hamikdash of all together. Amen.